Did you know that as the world slowly rolls towards credit cards with crypto rewards and eventually even a possible true crypto credit card, many lending platforms have begun to vie for pole position as the go-to platform for investing to make passive income? As more and more regular people around the world begin to open their eyes to the possibilities that crypto can bring them, especially in the wake of the last 2 years of restrictions, BlockFi and Celsius in particular have become very popular. But which one is going to yield the greatest rewards for investors? Let's explore BlockFi and Celsius and discuss which is the best investment for a passive income. Overview. One of the most immediate differences that you'll notice when comparing BlockFi to Celsius is the payout structure, with BlockFi favoring a monthly payment model while Celsius pays you out every week. That's a major factor for some people, as everyone has a preference, but that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the debate. Both the savings accounts provide high annual interest, mostly because of the long-term investment schedules. Investments are pretty safe because the money you invest is loaned against collateral. There are enough differences when it comes to supported currencies, rates, etc., to take all day discussing them. So here are the simplified important factors, including, first, what exactly they both are. Crypto lending platforms explained. You're going to notice that there are a whole bunch of different crypto lending platforms in the world today, but like most platforms related to crypto and investments, the two main categories are centralized versus decentralized. Celsius and BlockFi are both centralized lending platforms. And while that can seem like a red flag to the rah-rah, decentralize everything, crypto zealot, centralized in this case means much higher returns. There are, of course, benefits to decentralized platforms too, though, but let's get into the centralized concept a little more. If you think about it in the same terms as banking, it becomes simple. Like with a bank, you provide your currency to the bank and, depending on the account, it earns a certain amount of interest. The only difference is that crypto lending platforms present a much better return on investment than you'll ever see with traditional banks, depending on which currency you are using, of course. The best two of this type of platforms are undoubtedly BlockFi and Celsius, and both have similar structures that behave very similarly to banks, providing crypto-backed and collateralized loans, high-yield interest rates, exchange services, and the ability to use crypto as cash. Up to speed? Good. Let's dig a little deeper into each platform. BlockFi. Since 2017, BlockFi has had the goal of allowing crypto to be used a bit more like fiat money and allow people to save via high-interest incentives. It was founded by Zach Prince and Flory Marquez, who are CEO and SVP of Operations, respectively. Marquez was interviewed a couple of months ago and made sure to make people aware that BlockFi is doing whatever it takes to make it easier for users to earn crypto. It does actually appear that they are pulling that goal off handily. Celsius. Okay, so that's BlockFi. What about Celsius? Well, it has exactly the same goal as BlockFi, but can be considered more of an extrovert than BlockFi if you want to describe them like you would people. Based in London and founded by Alex Mashinsky, Nuke Goldstein, and S. Daniel Leon, the platform has made a lot of noise, having issued the CEL token with their first year and making it easy for users to get even higher interest rates and loan products. Mashinsky refers to Celsius as a revolution and inspired many people to get on board. How to earn passive income with BlockFi and Celsius. So now that you know a little bit about them both, let's talk about what they can do for you. You might have heard of an old network called BitConnect.
BitConnect! Wow!
That used to promise very high interest rates and offered structure that was similar to arbitrage bots. But it was a total scam, designed to acquire new user deposits, and when they got caught, they brought the SEC right to their proverbial door. Celsius and BlockFi do things a little differently, as when you invest, they lend the money out to other institutions and companies. In order to ensure that the investment stays solid and viable, both companies will ask for collateral that covers the amount and discounted interest. So that's what banks do too, but they have far more lenders compared to crypto lenders. Most of the time, the parties they are lending to are crypto exchanges. Both companies are aggregating your deposits and lending them out, then paying them back over time with interest. This gets divided between everyone who stores their crypto on the platform, and that's known as rehypothecation. Yeah, that's a big word. As the number of exchanges increases, the demand for loans will too, which creates competition and can increase the rates of return enormously in the coming years, which ultimately will only benefit you. How much can you earn? So now you can see the potential and the benefits of BlockFi and Celsius. It's worth noting too that Celsius allows a much wider range of currencies, including 12 stablecoins compared to BlockFi. For those of you who aren't crypto masters, you can get a great rate of return from these platforms, which could eventually mean no more need for stablecoin yield farming. BlockFi, by contrast, has a smaller range of stablecoins, only the one gold PAXG token and 6 cryptocurrencies, so that's a point to Celsius. Oh, but the fees are relatively high by comparison. BlockFi's fees are lower, as is the spread, and the platform is very accessible. There's more to consider though. Pros and cons. So given that both platforms offer different solutions to the issue of crypto investment and interest gains, there are a lot of variables that will go into deciding which platform is the one for you. Both have a very good reputation in terms of public view and also security, although BlockFi in particular has had more than a few ups and downs. Like, for example, the platform did once mistakenly issue Bitcoins in the past and had to offer a reward for their return. The one thing that is going to be right for you depends heavily on the size of your portfolio too, with Celsius having more crypto options and thus being the better option for those who have really diversified. The other thing to consider is your location and what the fee structure is like in various different places. Let's have a look at some of the pros and cons of each platform and see what is likely to be the best shot. Celsius. In the pros column for Celsius, we can see that there are lower interest rates on loans, higher interest rates in most cases, no withdrawal charges, no minimum deposit, no maximum deposit, a wide array of supported currencies, and a lot of supported coins. However, in the cons, we can see that the higher rates are not available in the United States. The fact that CEL, the token, is also not available in the US, the customer support is slow, the platform can be riskier with native tokens, and they lock addresses after hodl mode deactivation, which is already a chore to get. In short, Celsius is probably the better platform for people who have very large and diverse profiles and are not in the United States. The BlockFi difference. Okay, so looking at BlockFi in contrast to Celsius, we can see that in the pros, we have better interest rates for many coins, the Gemini crypto exchange backing up your money. It is suitable for people in the United States. It's compatible with non-native coins. It has a credit card that can yield Bitcoin rewards, and the customer support is fast. However, over in the cons, you have to consider the higher interest rates on loans, the loan origination fee, a non-transparent spread, only a few currencies available, and slow withdrawal fees. Basically, BlockFi is the platform of choice for those people who are in the United States and don't want to or don't have the time for studying the minutiae of intricacies about crypto and just want to make money. Conclusion. As both platforms continue to evolve, not only do the benefits increase, but they move into a position where they could totally replace fiat if something like that were to ever become necessary. Neither platform is risk-free, just like everything else, and both have their pros and cons, but regardless of where you invest, you're going to have to face the risk inherent with investment anyway. You should always consider your location, your preferred currency, and how big an investment you are looking at before deciding on one of these platforms. What do you think? Your comments are always welcome.